It's Sports by the Book at the South Point Studio. Here's Jeff Parles and Alex White.
Hello and happy Friday, everybody. This is Sports by the Book here at the South Point Studio. As I mentioned, it's Friday. That means this is a special show, and it is brought to you by footballcontest.com. If you want any Vegas football contest this summer, go with the pros at footballcontest.com. Experience matters, so visit proxy.footballcontest.com and use our promo code. That is SBTB for a very special offer from Matty and Tony. I'm Alex White here with you today. Excited. We have a full slate of baseball and two special guests.
Two special guests indeed. That's not just us. I'm Jeff Parles, by the way. We're always here, Alex and I. Our two guests, as always, Friday staple now, Duane Colucci. We'll get him, and, of course, Vegas Matty, but you'll hear a little more about that in the starting five as we get it going. As always, there's Sean Swooshed. Very good. Good job, Sean, who's gutting it out yet again here today on the first Friday of the month of August. Another coin flip at Cleveland in baseball today. Guardians and Orioles. Trevor Rogers, El Stinko yesterday as the Guardians take it to the O's. And now one Orioles now in a first-place tie with the Yankees after losing yesterday. Minus 105 both sides, total 9. Kramer and Carrasco, your pitching matchup at the old Jake there at Progressive Field.
Speaking of pitching matchup, number two best pitchers going, Cole Reagans and the Royals versus Tariq Skubal and the Tigers. Detroit minus 114 in this one. Total very low, 7, juice to the under, minus 120. We got a trend for you. Royals 61, 47, and 2 to the under this season.
Awesome pitching matchup, as Alex brought up in that game. Two top guys in that one. Phillies, Mariners, minus 111 on the Mariners, plus 105 on Philadelphia. Yeah, that's in the Pacific Northwest. The Phillies' 5 consecutive series losses dating back to the final series before the All-Star break, Alex.
If you're looking for big dogs, I mean, we have not even mentioned one yet. You're going to have to go with a team that doesn't have a very good winning record this year, because here at number 4, it's pretty much another coin flip. Erick Fedde gets his first start for his new team, the St. Louis Cardinals, going up against Javier Assad and the Chicago Cubs. Cubs win walk-off fashion yesterday in Game 1. St. Louis minus 108 on the road, total 7.5 over, minus 120. Cubs trending to the under as well this year.
Cubs 3 in the bottom of the 9th against the Cardinals bullpen to pull the upset and torpedo us yesterday here on the desk. And then number 5, just who we have on the show today. Mentioned it earlier. Vegas Matty will be with us 9:30. Duane Colucci about 15 past the hour. And we'll have plenty of questions for Duane, including how the South Point at Rampart, of course, handling last night's Hall of Fame game, which was a dead over, but the game didn't go 55 minutes. So we'll get Duane. Duane will tell you how the books here at the South Point at Rampart are handling that. Unfortunate if you had the over in most places, Alex.
I was working AAA baseball game. I did not get to watch even a minute of it. Jeff, what was your take?
It was preseason football, Alex. That's the easiest way to put it. That's preseason football.
But a lot of offense.
I mean, 38 points in 2.5 quarters. Yeah, a lot of points.
I'll
Bad
get
defense.
Ryan's take later at noon. That's a tease that I will be sticking around. But because it was his Chicago Bears, and apparently they looked pretty good, even with the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, Ryan can hold that till noon. On Punchlines. All right, let's hop in. Let's get some baseball here, Alex. And you mentioned it at number 4 on the starting 5. It's actually the first game of the day today, and it's Erick Fedde making his first St. Louis start after getting traded from the White Sox. He goes right back to the city of Chicago, but on the north side this time to take on Javier Assad, who has had his bright moments at times this year. Cardinals small favorite now, minus 110 on St. Louis, even money on the Cubs. This has been a small bouncer, not a big bouncer, only 4 cents move here at the South Point.
I'll start with Javier Assad because you did bring it up. Much better July than June. In his last 3 starts, 11 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, compared to July in just 4 starts, 19 innings pitched, and 12 earned runs there. So I'm going with Erick Fedde, of course, here. First start. There's a few pitchers that we have that are making their first start with their new team. Really going off of, I think they're going to be motivated here in this spot. Erick Fedde, though, I have been backing him all year. 14th best ERA in the league at 3.11. Averages just 1.9 walks per 9 innings and 8.53 strikeouts per 9 innings. Even looking at his due factor, looking very good for him. 1.87 ERA, which I went off yesterday. We did talk about if anybody is new here, but Sonny Gray did his job. We just gave it up late in that game. So play for me, Cardinals minus 110.
I'm going to stay out of this one. That's where we're at more than anything. I would just say, looking at that game last night for St. Louis, not fully a betting thing, but you sometimes, well, it could be a betting thing because if you want to bet St. Louis to make the postseason, that kind of feels like a moment last night where you have a 2-run lead, the Cubs offense is doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, boom, Bellinger homer, Swanson the RBI double, and then the game winner by Tauchman. It just one of those games. It feels like, hey, things might just be going the wrong way here with the Cardinals, who are now 2 full games out behind the Arizona Diamondbacks for that final wild card in the NL, Alex.
I agree. I'm not fully buying the Cardinals to make it too far if they do sneak in there to the playoffs, but I like them today in this spot.
Speaking of the Diamondbacks, Alex White, let's go to Pittsburgh next. These two teams played in Arizona just a week ago. Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3. Pirates salvaged the final game of that series down there at Chase Field. It's Fott and Ortiz, who Ortiz actually pitched great in that start against Arizona, and then the bullpen faltered for Pittsburgh in that game. Minus 130 on Arizona, plus 120 on Pittsburgh. I'll just say it. I think we have the wrong price here. I would be on Pittsburgh and Ortiz in this one at home at PNC Park.
Nothing for me in this one. It was a slight lean to the under, but as you mentioned, I mean, these two teams did just play, and these hitters just saw these pitchers. So Fott just saw Pirates gave up 7 hits in 6 innings pitched and 5 earned runs. Ortiz, you brought it up, did well, but doesn't give up a lot of home runs, but he does walk a lot. 24 on the year. Kept me off of that under here at 8.5. So nothing for me in this one.
Well, only, like I said, only the home underdog in this spot. A little bit surprised.
Pirates have been playing well.
Yeah, they're still in this thing.
Yeah.
They're in that 6-team clump that is more than alive in the NL wild card race. Right now, Pittsburgh entering today 2.5 games behind these Diamondbacks. So very important games for Pittsburgh to try to chase down Arizona in that wild card race. Of course, Braves won yesterday. We'll get to them in a second. Padres back in action later today, half game ahead of Arizona. Speaking of those Braves, let's actually go right there right now. Braves beat Miami, covered a run line yesterday in a 4-2 game. Today will be Spencer Schwellenbach, who's off an 11 strikeout performance against the Mets over the weekend. Belezo makes the start for Miami. Not a huge sample size at all on Mr. Belezo, Alex. Minus 230 on Atlanta, total 9 in this one there at Truist Park.
I'm back in the rookie here. I think the Braves are playing much better, and oh gosh, Schwellenbach, he's 4-5 in 10 starts, 5 quality starts this year. Of course, we've had 61 hits in 57 innings pitched, but he's given up just 7 home runs. And the Mets are really starting to play better baseball, especially from their guys that we expected to see all year, Matt Olson, Austin Riley. So I think this is a good time to back the Braves. It's a bad number. You have to lay a big price. So I'm going to take a small shot here on the run line with the Braves.
Going with the home rookie today, the road rookie of Belezo, only 10 innings pitched. 1 good start, 1 bad start for Belezo. 5 innings of no run ball against the Royals in his debut. 5 earned and 5 against the Red Sox in his second start out. Nothing for me here. A little bit of regression to the mean potentially on Schwellenbach on the strikeouts doesn't necessarily mean regression to the mean overall. So I follow if you want to bet on this game. Follow Alex. Follow Alex on the Braves run line there in Atlanta. Going to San Diego next. Gomber and Vasquez, your pitching matchup. Vasquez is a minus 175 favorite. Total 8.5. Rockies come from behind, beat the Angels last night in Anaheim. Short little trip down to San Diego. Padres, as we know, just scorching right now. 9 out of their last 10, and they're forget the wild card right now. They're the second wild card at the moment. Honing in on the Dodgers, only 4.5 games behind. the closest this race has been since the beginning of May in the NL West, Alex.
So this is just a small lean here, and mostly just because of the price. And now you can tell. So I saw minus 180 yesterday on the Padres. So bettors liked that plus money as well. I was looking at the Rockies. It was pretty intriguing number there. I think it's a pretty even pitching matchup between these two. That's if I were to play it, I would grab the run line here. Plus 1.5, minus 130 with the Rockies. But the Padres are playing so well right now. So I haven't done anything yet with this.
Padres, just like we said, 9 out of the last 10. Colorado, are they still the worst power rated team in the NL for you, Alex? Colorado?
Yes.
It's still a little behind Miami, even with Miami giving up more than half of their team at the trade deadline.
Baseball's a little complicated, though, because there's offensive power rating, defensive power rating, pitching power. So it's a lot.
Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Yeah.
You're splitting hairs with Miami and Colorado at this point at the bottom of the National League. Padres half game behind Atlanta, 4.5 behind the LA Dodgers. Going to the Royals and the Tigers next. This is just what you ask for here in the dog days. An unbelievable pitching matchup between the Cy Young favorite Tariq Skubal of Detroit. Cole Reagans goes for Kansas City. Tigers minus 114. Royals on a winning streak right now, mostly because they took advantage of the White Sox. They've won 4 straight. They actually are ahead of Minnesota entering today in the American League Central for second place. 6 games behind the Guards and 4 games behind the Yankees for that top wild card in the AL. Alex, this would only be a look to Kansas City at a plus number here with Reagans. As good as Skubal is, this is really not a pitching mismatch at all. Number kind of tells you that. But I would take a shot on the road dog Kansas City here. Small plus price with Reagans.
Especially they're playing really good offensively. I mean, they're clicking. They're having fun. That's what you want. Those are the kind of teams you want to bet on, teams that want to be there. We don't know how long Skubal is going to go. I imagine at least 5 innings here. So I like the Royals, that plus money price. And I also like first 5 under. I know it's a little intimidating. It's 3.5, but it's minus 105. I think we're going to have like a 1-0 after 5 innings between these two. So those are my 2 bets on that game. I'm with you. Cole Reagans. Base Detroit recently this year surrendered 0 runs and had 12 strikeouts in that game, 7-inning victory. So I like Reagans here. The Royals plus 104 and under 3.5 in the first 5 innings.
Low score in first 5 for Alex White, and we're both on Kansas City in Detroit here this evening. Let's go to Cleveland next. Guardians really took it to the Orioles last night. It's Kramer and Carrasco here in this one. Total 9. Another flip here in this game, Alex. Minus 105 both sides.
I like the Guardians in this one. Talk to me tomorrow and the next day. I think I'll be backing the Orioles for those pitching matchups. I know the Guardians, big win yesterday, 10-3. But again, another team that is starting to click and starting to really hit. We know that their pitching has been there all year long, but I think this is a good spot. 2 older pitchers. I know it can be scary backing Carrasco, but I think it's a good spot for him here at home.
And we've talked about Baltimore allowing the Yankees to hang around, despite the Yankees playing as poorly. Well, not as poorly. Second worst team in baseball, only the White Sox worst. Before this little hot streak the Yankees have gotten on. Back-to-back series wins in Boston, and, of course, a sweep in Philadelphia. The Yankees may have found themselves again, at least all knotted up heading into the weekend. The Yankees, by the way, taking on Toronto today. They're minus 144 favorites with Stroman on the mound against Kevin Gausman. One more game I want to hit before we bring in Duane Colucci. The Red Sox and the Rangers, Cutter Crawford, Jose Urania, Boston, that's moved 9 cents from minus 118 to minus 109, but we're looking at the total here, Alex.
I was a lean to Boston, too, so but I haven't done anything there. I took over 8.5 in this one. I don't know if there's still any out there. Don't love 9. That takes away my full run value here for this game, but I know the Red Sox have struggled since the break, just 4 and 8, but it's really been more on their pitching staff, and this offense all year has been really good. They're second in slugging percentage, they're third in batting average, 6th in OBP, 6th in stolen bases, 8 in homers. So I like this spot for Boston. And then Texas as well. They have struggled since the All-Star break, but now they are back at home. They just went on a 6-game road trip. So I think we're going to get over those runs pretty easily. And again, a little bit of a lean to the road team here with the Red Sox and Cutter Crawford pitching.
Lean to the over, but not at 9. See if you can
took it at 8.5 if you can find it, or
if you can find it 8.5, even after the top of the first, maybe go for that.
Yeah.
Instead, see if you can get a perfect inning or a clean inning from Urania. A slight lean to the Red Sox as well for Alex. All right, let's take a quick break. When we get back, Duane Colucci will join us next. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
Have you always wanted to enter the biggest and best football contest in Las Vegas, but didn't know where to start and who to trust? Look no further than footballcontest.com to get the info you need to succeed, including breakdowns of the most popular and highest-paying football contests in the world, such as the Westgate Super Contest, Circa Sports Million, and Circa Survivor. Plus, find out how you can reserve the most trusted proxy in the business right now at footballcontest.com, as Matty and Tony have been leading the way for over a decade with more than $10 million in winners during that time frame. All you need to do is find a way to get to Vegas sometime this summer and sign up for these football contests in person. Then let Matty and Tony do the rest. They will submit your picks for you and help you focus on doing what you do best, picking winners. Don't miss out on the action this upcoming football season. Experience matters. So go with the pros at footballcontest.com. That's footballcontest.com.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book. She's Alex. I'm Jeff. Happy to be with you as always. Of course, Fridays brought to you by footballcontest.com. We'll actually see the proprietor of that site, Vegas Matty, here after we talk to this gentleman up at the Rampart in Summerlin. He runs the joint up there, the race book, the sports book. Our good friend Duane Colucci with us right now. Duane, you're getting closer to the whole city going to Del Mar. I gotta imagine you're getting amped up for that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be there next week, getting geared up for vacation time finally. And then I slide right into football. So there's never a dull moment around here at the Rampart or the South Point. We got tons of new kiosks coming in for our guests. We're really rolling out the red carpet for this football season. We're going to have that great $500 giveaway each and every week. All you got to do is make a football bet and swipe your player's card and you're eligible. And, you don't have to be present for the drawing. So, we got a lot going on. Chris has got the jackpot card. We've had that out for a couple of months now. So come on down. They're only $5 and get ready for football with us at the Rampart. It's going to be great.
Duane, speaking of football, of course, the Hall of Fame game last night. And, of course, right out of the gate, we get a lot of questions right out of it where game only goes midway through the third quarter. It was already over the total. But, Duane, how is that handled? Of course, we know there are a lot of rules in place if a game is not played to its entirety in the National Football League.
Yeah, and especially when it's canceled in the third quarter, unfortunately, we do have to refund full game bets according to our rules at Rampart and South Point in compliance. And, the rules are the rules. Second half is a refund. But if you had first half action, you did have some action and can collect because the first half was established. But yeah, this is what you get into, Jeff, when you're dealing with these preseason games and when you're starting in August and, there was a lot of vibes about the weather about 3 to 4 hours prior to the game. I started to get a sense that there was going to be massive storms and lightning and naturally it takes effect. And, it's unfortunate for the consumer that was on the over. Like you said, everybody is complaining. You have to hear everybody moan and gripe. But, that's part of our job as bookmakers at both the Rampart and South Point. We know how to put out these fires. We know how to explain it to our guests. And I always stress, if you really don't know the fundamentals and the rules, we have them posted right on the wall as big as day in the Rampart Race at Sportsbook. And you could always ask me and my writers for the rules. And, that's the rules we follow. And they're posted. And unfortunate if you did have the over and, you are getting a refund for the full game. We did have to refund full game wagers at the Rampart and South Point, Jeff.
Duane, the trade deadline is over. We did see a lot of moves there. Every team made at least one. Let's start with your Dodgers. They did get Jack Flaherty and a few others. And Padres made a lot of moves, too, who are creeping up behind them. Give us your thoughts on those two teams first.
Yeah, definitely, Alex. I was so disappointed in the Dodgers. They didn't show much heart against the Padres, whereas the Padres are riding this emotional wave. And, you're letting a former Dodger somewhat stick it to you in Manny Machado. He was making great plays, home runs in that prolific comeback, the 5-1 game the other night. And the Dodgers did have to go out and make some moves, but don't hit the panic button yet. Mookie is coming back. Hopefully Freddie Freeman has, the family problems with his son rectified. We pray and hope that kid is okay. You definitely always want to take family first. This is just a game. Let's keep that in mind for all you Freeman critics out there. The pitching is what needs to get healthy there, Alex. And, they did have to go out and make that move, getting a quality starter. They need some support in that bullpen. It's going to be scary because the Padres are definitely creeping up. They're playing very well. They're hitting the ball. And, it makes it even more scary from a Dodgers perspective because the Dodgers are always complacent sitting on that lead, Alex. It's been year in, year out where they dominate that division, and they definitely have to level out. Kershaw has got to really perform well. Glass now, hopefully they'll get Buehler back. They need some intangibles, and hopefully this trade for this marquee pitcher can help them out.
Duane, just it's seemingly like we talked about the Yankees' struggles more so than anything when you would come on, and I think we just have to go the other way here, where the Yankees have seemingly found it here. 2 out of 3 in Boston, sweeping the NL's best and actually baseball's best going into the series in the Phillies. Is this the corner being turned for the Yankees now, back in a first place tie in the American League East with the Baltimore Orioles?
I don't know. They're hitting the ball. Jazz was a major pickup. You could see already this kid is stroking it. And if you add to Soto and you could add to, naturally the Judge, definitely it's going to be, a positive feeling in that clubhouse. They were so down on themselves. I mean, they lost like 25 out of 30 games at one point, and they were definitely still able to sustain and stay in the wild card and second place. And now they're back in the race for the division. Baltimore, they're playing Cleveland now. So that's going to be a very rough series that could go back and forth. And Baltimore is a very young team. Keep that in mind. Whereas the Yankees, they do have some veteran leadership. They have great management core. Even though Boone is always under the microscope, you do have Osmus now in that locker room and clubhouse, and that definitely helps because he's a former manager. So these guys are definitely going to level it out. What the whole thing is with the Yankees, Hill has to continue to pitch well. Garrett Cole has to pitch well. The pitching needs to be dominant at times against the mediocre competition so that they could garner those wins and definitely level out. The Yankees are like a heartbeat, though, Jeff. I mean, I can't get a read on them. I could not say that this definitely is going to be the turning point of the season, and they're just going to ride into the sunset and possibly win the World Series. The American League is very difficult. We spoke about Baltimore. We spoke about Cleveland. You still have Houston involved. So it's going to be a dogfight. You have Minnesota, a lot of teams fighting for those wild card positions. So, I think the Yankees are definitely going to make the playoffs. I mean, barring a catastrophe, but I'm not so sure they're the best team in the American League until they really start to perform at that high level that we know.
I want to ask you about the MVP in that league. Of course, Aaron Judge, the favorite right now, but Bobby Witt Jr.'s odds are moving down. And forgive me if we've already talked about this, but what are your thoughts? You think Aaron Judge has this right now, or is there a chance that Bobby Witt Jr. could steal this?
I don't know, Alex. Judge is just a monster. I mean, very similar to Ohtani. These guys are the measuring stick for great players in the National League and the American League. I think Aaron Judge is definitely the best player in the American League. He's shown it time and time again. He's coming off an injury-plagued season, just crushing the ball. Almost had the 40 homers before August again. So, you have to keep that in mind, Alex. I think he's the best player. I know Witt is definitely an up-and-coming phenomenal talent for the Royals over there, but I think Aaron Judge has this locked up. I'd have him as a massive minus unless he gets injured naturally. But, anything is possible. You saw Stanton go down and, several good players have gone down in the past. Tatis, Betts was leading the MVP race, in my opinion, in the National League, and he went down. But, Alex, great question. But I think the Judge is a monster, and I think he's got it pretty much locked up.
Going to today's action, Duane, I just want to start in the Pacific Northwest because it's 2 first-place teams that are not playing their best right now. That's Seattle and Philly. the Phillies have lost 5 consecutive series, dating back to that series against Oakland right before the All-Star break. Seattle, again, we've talked about it all year. Offense has been the issue. They pitched as well or better than anyone in baseball. The market took a small bite of the Phillies overnight, Duane. Just a 4-cent move. They've also moved this total a half run up to 8 in this one.
Yeah, we did see a little overaction, so, it is up to 8 now, and you did see a little Philly action. They're playing horrible, though, I'll be honest with you. I mean, they were so disappointing against the Yankees. I mean, not being able to win a game. Bryce Harper looks like he's still a little banged up, in my opinion, and I definitely think there's a lot of pressure now on the Phillies moving forward. I mean, they did open up this gigantic lead, so that's why you're seeing the Mets and those teams trail, but they're not playing nowhere near what the Mets are playing at their level. So, this is going to be interesting to see how Philly rides into the playoffs. You still have a lot of hungry teams in the National League, like I talked about. Dodgers are right there. Padres are definitely playing at a good level, and you have the Mets playing at a good level that are chasing the Phillies. So we're going to see how it plays out. This is going to be a great, great series, and it's a measuring stick on both sides. You saw Seattle; they made a couple of moves. They definitely aren't pleased with what's going on, but they have injuries as well, Jeff. So they have to overcome these injuries. They're another young team that could definitely correct things before the end of the season. This is a great series. I anticipate a lot of two-way action just because the Phillies, like you said, they lost 5 straight series. Listen to that, and they still have one of the best records in baseball.
I want to get your opinion on starting pitchers making their first start for their new team. Did not go well for Trevor Rogers yesterday. We've got a few going today, including Erick Fedde with the Cardinals and then Kikuchi with the Astros. If you were betting, would you typically fade those guys or back them to have a good first start?
That's a great question, Alex. I mean, you're going to see the public go both ways on this. And, I'm not sold on Kikuchi. He hasn't performed in a couple of years now. He's been very mediocre. Maybe this is the change of scenery that he needs to be on a team, a veteran team, to show some leadership and to, tell him and boost him up and boost his morale up. So maybe I would take a flyer on Kikuchi today, but he's been disappointing. But most of these guys, they're just traveling. You have to take this into consideration when you're handicapping on these pitchers, that they're traveling to a new city, they're getting acclimated, they have to get a place to live, they have to rectify all this with the family. So it's a difficult read. I like to fade a lot of these guys unless it's like a monster pitcher that's a Scherzer or a guy like that a team is acquiring to just ride out the season and win. But great question, Alex. I mean, I would probably handicap against these guys the first couple of starts until they get acclimated with the clubhouse and surroundings.
Duane, now that we're into August, of course, baseball's popular. I know at your shop, of course, horse racing, very popular. As you know, you take care of horse players as well as anyone in the entire valley. But now with preseason football and, of course, at the end of the month, college football coming into play, what is that distribution usually like from bettors now coming to your shop?
They were loading up last night. They were coming into the room. Football is king, Jeff. Horse racing, I'm the biggest advocate, like you said, but it is a dying industry, and I'm trying and keep it going here at the Rampart. I know Chris does a great job with Steve over at the South Point. They have a separate horse room, so nobody is a bigger advocate than me other than Chris Andrews. So, definitely when you start to see the preseason NFL and the college is going to, come into the schedule about the 24th, I believe. So the room is going to be packed with football consumers and backers. Everybody loves football. Football is king, whether it's college. I mean, you could ask Jimmy Vaccaro. A few years back before the pandemic, we were starting to see where the college handle would actually get to where the pro handle was. And that's a great, great feeling as a bookmaker, because we want all the action we could take, and we want all the handle we could take and get, and we want everybody to be pleased. So college and pro, you can't compare to anything. Once football starts, it supersedes NBA, NHL, anything, even horse racing. But we will have one of the 3 big screens on our 55-foot video wall dedicated to horse racing, as always, because we still have the fabulous Saratoga and Del Mar meets, and they are a major attraction. And I do have a lot of horse players. You know that, Jeff. Huge horse clientele, and we want to please everybody, and that's what we aim to do at the Rampart in South Point. We have enough riders. We will have, like I said, added kiosks to enhance the experience. We're going to have waitresses coming around, food orders, all that going on at the Rampart. So definitely don't sleep on us. We have a monster sports book. We're ready for a monster football season. But like we said, Jeff, nothing compares to football.
You do have something for everyone, including even Olympic bets. I'm holding a basketball sheet right here. How has that handle been? And is it mostly pros or Joes up at your shop?
Oh, great mix of both, Alex. I mean, you get the wise guys that are definitely looking to catch us sleeping on those big lines, on the U.S. basketball team, men's and women's. But you do have your average consumer that also is looking at the tennis matches, the soccer. They're looking to parlay a bunch of stuff. So, it works both ways. Chris did an excellent job this year. We had an expanded menu, more than any Olympics that I've been a part of this corporation. So definitely it's a good feel. We're seeing a lot of people come out early. I do have several of the video wall windows dedicated as well to the Olympics. So, it's a great mix. It adds to the handle because we only have baseball right now. And it's important that we continue on with other options because everybody's into propositions and other betting options. And that's what we're looking to fulfill here at the Rampart in South Point, Alex. So, it's a great mix of both, whether it's the wise guy or the average consumer.
Duane, just want to bring this up because we're a little over a month away from the NFL season starting. And of course, Chris does a great job and it happens at your shop as well. That parlay card right away in week one, for people that are unfamiliar with it, go ahead and explain, how simple it is to get your big potential money parlay card in, with the promotion here at the South Point. And of course, up at the Rampart and all of other, Gone Gaming sportsbooks, in the state.
Yeah, it's the fabulous jackpot card, and we have it opening week of the NFL. It's $5 every game, no point spread. That's the big thing, and a $25,000 jackpot, which could get in excess. It probably will. I have guys that are looking to bet 500-600 cards. They do clog up the window for a little while, but it's a great feel. And Chris does this a tremendous job. We have it in the opening round of the NCAA tournament, the first 2 days, and we split it up. The jackpot on those 2 days. But everybody is eager to bet on the NFL. Everybody has an opinion. Come down. I have the racks loaded with these jackpot cards. Chris Andrews does a great job, people. This is the pet of Gone Gaming and the Rampart in South Point, and it's a fabulous promotion. It's only $5, $5. I mean, come on down, put in as many as you want, and you'll get a piece of that prize, and it's just great. I'm seeing tons of guys grabbing stacks, and I love it. Like I said, first week, $5, NFL, no point spread, and we had the cards for at least a month and a half, 2 months now. Come on out and see us at the Rampart in South Point. This is a fabulous, fabulous promotion you want to be a part of, and we will list the winners and the probable combinations with the one game left on our board and let everybody know who has a chance after they put their card in and some of those games are played. So, it's very exciting, and it's a tremendous promotion at the Rampart in South Point, and like you said, Jeff, the other Gone Gaming properties.
And, of course, Thursday and Friday not involved. Sunday and Monday games on the card. So actually a total involved this year because of the Eagles and the Packers playing on Friday night in week one there in Sao Paulo. He's
Another
Duane.
Streaming game.
Yeah, hey, well, you know what? It doesn't matter if it's streaming or if it's on regular television, Duane. It's going to be on at your shop, regardless of where it's coming. Of course, it'll be on behind us as well. Duane Colucci, everyone, sports and race director up at the Rampart in Summerlin. NY Bookie Duane on the tweets. Duane, pleasure as always. We'll see you again. You're going to be on vacation, so we'll see you again. We'll see you again soon.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Alex. You guys are the best.
Enjoy your trip.
Absolutely. Our good friend, Duane Colucci. Before we take a quick break and bring our good friend Vegas Matty in, who's going to be in studio, Chris Andrews bringing in to our crew in the back, Sean Caden, of course, Ryan McCormick, busy at work getting ready for Punchlines. The regular season conference win totals for college football for the ACC, the Big 12, the SEC, and the Mountain West, and Notre Dame's regular season wins, because Notre Dame, of course, is not in the conference. So they got to go the regular wins on Notre Dame. They are out behind us. Alex and I will take a quick glance, see if there's anything before the end of the show, potentially. Maybe. I don't know. But we'll take a quick break right now, though, because Vegas Matty of footballcontest.com will step on in, and we'll talk to him when we get back. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.
We have 11 amazing restaurants featuring a wide variety for every price range and appetite. South Point's Garden Buffet has something for everyone at unbeatable prices. Or, if hunger strikes in the middle of the night, join us at Coronado Cafe. The American menu offers breakfast, lunch, or dinner 24 hours a day, plus a Chinese kitchen for authentic Chinese dishes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. From steak and eggs to wonton soup, it's fast and friendly service 24/7. When you need a quick pick-me-up, you can find it at our state-of-the-art Starbucks just inside the main South Point entrance. Order ahead with the Starbucks app for easy mobile order pickups. Or enjoy your favorites in the relaxing dining area anytime, day or night. If you love Mexican food, Baja Miguel's has all of your south-of-the-border favorites. There are dozens of classics to choose from, like fajitas, ceviche, chimichangas, tacos, and more. And for spirit lovers, Baja's colorful non-smoking tequila bar is right outside. Or maybe you're in the mood for seafood. Big Sur Oyster Bar has fresh seafood prepared right before your eyes. Savor freshly shucked oysters, crab legs jambalaya, shrimp and lobster. Beers on tap and a selection of fine wines are perfect to pair with your seafood favorite. Whether lunch or dinner, you'll love this fun atmosphere, located just off the casino floor. Ready to shake things up? Step back in time and treat yourself to one of the oldest restaurant chains in the country. Steak and Shake, famous for original mouth-watering steak burgers and hand-dipped milkshakes in a variety of flavors. For some old-fashioned fun, try Steak and Shake.
Have you always wanted to enter the biggest and best football contests in Las Vegas, but didn't know where to start and who to trust? Look no further than footballcontest.com to get the info you need to succeed, including breakdowns of the most popular and highest-paying football contests in the world, such as the Westgate Super Contest, Circa Sports Million, and Circa Survivor. Plus, find out how you can reserve the most trusted proxy in the business right now at footballcontest.com, as Matty and Tony have been leading the way for over a decade with more than $10 million in winners during that time frame. All you need to do is find a way to get to Vegas sometime this summer and sign up for these football contests in person. Then let Matty and Tony do the rest. They will submit your picks for you and help you focus on doing what you do best, picking winners. Don't miss out on the action this upcoming football season. Experience matters. So go with the pros at footballcontest.com. That's footballcontest.com.
Welcome back in Sports by the Book, South Point Studio. We got the 3-box here. Jeff Parles, Alex White, and now joining us, footballcontest.com's own, our good friend Vegas Matty in studio. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning to you.
It's August.
It's go time, as they say.
It's August, as I've mentioned about 14,000 times the last week of July. We were heading to August. But like you just said, it's go time now, Matty.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5 weeks left to sign up for the contests here in Las Vegas. The big ones, the Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and the Super Contest. So if you have not made plans yet, get out there now and make your reservations to get to Vegas. There's a lot of hotel promotions, too. They want you to stay on property and enjoy festivities, too, going on. There's events. Super Contest weekend is in 2 weeks. We've got Bet Bashes next week at Circa. I know you're going to participate in that, right, Alex?
Yes, I will be there.
So there's that going on. And then the big contest weekend at Circa is the weekend of August 23rd and 24th. So we'll be there pretty much around the clock during those times, and we invite everyone to come out and sign up for these contests.
So you've been with us, joined us a couple times, but for anybody who is new and watching, how long have you been doing this proxy service, and how'd you get into it?
Yeah, we've been leading proxy service for the past 15 years, and my partner Tony and I started this back in 2009. We just had a fairly small list, but still compared to how many entries they had in the Super Contest, I believe there was about 328 entries the first year we did the contest, and now you've got Circa Survivor looking at close to 12,000 entries. So things have definitely come a long way. But what a proxy is in order to participate in these contests, you need to submit your picks in person every week. So if you live on the other side of the country, you either need to fly in every week and submit your picks, or you can hire someone like us to submit for you. And I can't stress enough how important experience is when it comes to this. We have our tagline, "Go with the pros," and that's what we feel that sets us apart. Our customer service is pretty much 24/7 around the clock. We'll reply to emails. We'll help you out. You can call us, text us pretty much at all hours to get information. And with help logging into the website, any kind of issues, we're there for you. There's been a growth of proxies over the years since we started doing this. Kind of people saw how we were doing, and it's kind of a copycat industry to some degree. And you'll see a lot of people out there trying to rake in business, but definitely look for us because we've been doing this the longest, and we love what we do, and we're here for you, pretty much like I said, around the clock.
So now that we're in August, the NFL season starts just about a month from now. On that first Thursday of September, just what does this last month look like for you as we gear up and get ready to go here?
Just busy. Like Tony and I are switching off doing signups every day. Sometimes we're both doing signups in the same day. Like we're trying to accommodate as many people as we can. We have set times at the Sportsbook, so definitely email us. You go to footballcontest.com. You can get all the information on the contest, but you can also schedule an appointment with us. And that's, the main thing is to make sure that we are there, because even though we are available like different hours of the day, we do tend to go at certain times to organize our appointments and knock them all out like within a certain time period. Like, for example, Bet Bash will be there between 9 a.m. and noon from Tuesday through Saturday. So we'll have a booth set up, booth 5, actually for the next, not this weekend, but the next 3 weekends, I believe, will be set up there through the end of August, actually. So I guess it's maybe the next 4 weekends. But look for us in booth 5 during those times. We'll have extended hours during Super Contest weekend. Even we'll be at Circa, certain like longer hours, and then at the Westgate we'll be in the clubhouse on that Friday and Saturday, August 16th and 17th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then August 23rd and 24th we'll be in the Circa Sportsbook booth 5 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. both days.
So last week of August is probably the last week to sign up for all these contests, right? If people are interested, they got to make their plans. They have about a month to get it all figured out.
Yeah, actually, they go up till September 7th, I believe. So that's the cutoff day. Don't wait till the last minute. Yeah. I mean, that's the number one thing I would tell people is just try to get out here before then, before that first game kicks off, because basically you can enter the contest. I think it's up to 3 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. But it's just a crazy scenario at the books. It might take a little longer. You'll be scrambling to get your picks in because the deadline to get your picks in is like only an hour after that deadline, I believe. So, they will go up until basically that last Saturday before the first Sunday games kick off.
And also, too, with Survivor, the little quirk, if you happen to have some entries, or you have your entries that lose on Thursday night.
Right.
If you were to take either Kansas City or Baltimore, you could technically rebuy.
You can rebuy up to the max. The maximum number of entries is 10 for the Circa Survivor. So if you were to gamble and put 5 on one team, or I guess you could put 5 on each side if you did that, get 5 to move on and then rebuy, and you've got a full 10 again, at least 5 moving on to week 2. So that's an interesting scenario.
I don't love that.
That's not a bad way to get past the first week for at least half your entries.
Yeah,
it's a good point.
Yeah, just look. When you came in, you said you talked with the guys at Circa, just projecting out what the fields are going to look like. Of course, the highest prize pool ever combined between Survivor and the Millions contest.
Sure. So there is $16 million guaranteed in the Circa Million and Circa Survivor. Survivor is $10 million guaranteed, and the Circa Million, which is the Pick 5 contest, is $6 million. Now, they haven't been able to hit the 6,000 entries needed to avoid an overlay the last couple of years. They're hoping to get closer. I heard from Jeff Benson this morning down at Circa, and he said that they're projected to be between like 5,500 and 5,800 for the Circa Million. So that still would fall short and give a little bit of an overlay just for people who are trying to make plans and see if they could get out here just to get that, get on the right side of that. But that would still fall short of the number. The Circa Survivor is on pace for 11,000 entries, I believe. So that's definitely over the 10,000. And all that money would go back into the pool. So that would make the Survivor worth $11 million. I think it'll definitely, the Survivor will definitely top that number. I think it'll come closer to 12,000 entries, which would be $12 million. And it's going to really be up to the Circa Million to see how many people end up doing that. Because just from what we're seeing, the pace right now is like a little better than 2-1 in favor of Survivor. And we're just seeing like our clients are though they do multiple Survivor entries, they might do one Circa Million and maybe a second one, but not a lot of people doing 5 full entries in the Circa Million, which is kind of what they need to be able to hit that number.
So we've got both Circa, Superbook, and the Gold there, of course, too.
Yep.
Any other contest? Are you doing proxy for Golden Nugget, or is there any other contest I don't even know about?
Yeah, there's really, I mean, outside of the Nugget, there's no William Hill college contest. I do believe there's a pro contest for William Hill, but yeah, the big thing was just a lot of people interested in doing a college contest, and right now there's just the Nugget, which is the combination contest. But other than that, we did try to talk the Westgate into doing something this year, but maybe next year.
No dice yet?
Yeah, no dice yet. I think it's just a lot of work to try to put into something where they don't know how many entries we're going to. I told Jay Cornegay before the season around Super Bowl time, we talked to him, and I said, hey, I think we could get you 1,000 entries in a college contest if you did it. And he was a little skeptical about it. And it's hard to commit to doing that just because of the way the college football schedule is, I think, with games almost every day of the week. As you guys know, probably with the William Hill College Pick'em contest, they limited it to like 30 Saturday games when they did do that contest. And it's kind of was a lot of people didn't like the format of not being able to pick other games besides just a select number, where at least the Golden Nugget, you can pick any game on the board.
Be interesting if, just because obviously, like you said, Golden Nugget's a split. I know you've done the Nugget contest for a few years now, Alex, where it's a split both NFL and college, where a lot of sharp bettors like you gravitate towards the college lines because of, like you said, numbers come out early in the week. Just wonder if there's a void where someone comes out with a because I know Superbook does the mid-season $500 contest in the NFL. I wonder if someone came out with like a lower price point $500 entry, maybe even $300 entry. I wonder how something like that would do.
Yeah, it's a good question, because I think what it comes down to is what is the prize pool. I mean, the stations have been doing like smaller contests for years, and they've been very successful. They get 10,000, 20,000. I don't even know, like
$100 for 5 entries.
It's not a bad
Alex
idea.
has pretty good familiarity with that contest.
Right? So that's
it's a great contest,
and that's more of a locals contest, just because they want you to come in. The whole history of the football contest is interesting, because if you think about it, going back, I mean, Jimmy Vaccaro will tell you, like, the whole point was to bring people into the book during their lunch breaks on a Friday afternoon. They end up signing up for the contest or putting their picks in, and then making some wagers for the weekend. That was the kind of the original thing, even with the Super Contest. But then once they opened it up with proxies and allowing people to sign up from all over the country, the big thing was just getting to Vegas and signing up, and then you pass the baton to your proxy to put the picks in every week. Now they like to chart what we do in the sports books and see if we're spending money, which, you know, we've given a fair share of money back to them in some form while betting, because they asked for our Players Club card number so that they could track kind of what we're doing as well, in addition to the contestants that sign up, which is kind of interesting.
Very interesting. But then, of course, Stations does have the one that is, like you said, for locals, because you can't have a proxy for that. You have to physically go in every single weekend.
Alex, of course, a former champion of the college football contest, last man, woman standing over at Stations Casino. I love that. I know you love the contest. That's for locals. It's $200 for the pro and the college. There are worse ways to spend $200.
Absolutely, yes.
Please, Matty. Before we let you go, just where can everyone find you.
Yep.
And, of course, the easiest way to get in contact with you and Paulie over at footballcontest.com.
Yeah, Tony, so we just go to footballcontest.com, proxy.footballcontest.com. We'll show you a breakdown of our fees. We have discounts out there to save $50, so make sure to reach out to us and find out. We'll have something for Bet Bash if you use promo code BetBash to save $50 next week and kind of throughout. Now, if you look at the entries too, I just want everyone to know, like they might look a little low, but you can basically count on 5 times the number of entries you see right now. I think the Survivor's a little over 2,500, so you could multiply that by 5, and basically that it's amazing because there's 5 weeks left to think that they're going to multiply by 5 times before the football season comes out or starts. But that's what we're looking at, is 4 to 5 times what the current entry total is.
Oh, I believe it. Everybody who I have talked to, none of us have signed up yet. So there's a lot of people
waiting,
in
There's
Vegas,
no rush
right?
for people here in Vegas to do
Right.
it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So are you going to participate in anything in Bet Bash, or you're just working and
No,
signing
we'll just be
people
working.
up
We'll
all
be
week?
available. Yeah, we'll have somebody at the Westgate in case somebody wants to jet over there to sign up for that from Circa. And then, we'll be in the book at Circa 3 hours a day, Tuesday through Saturday. And also wanted to give a pitch to fantasy footballcontest.com. We are working with full-time fantasy on fantasy football or fantasy leagues, which I know, Alex, you're going to jump in my league, which is full now, which is nice. But there are several other leagues that are being drafted, a lot of live drafts at Circa those last few weeks leading up to the start of the season. So reach out to us at footballcontest.com. You'll have the information on the fantasy leagues as well.
Really looking forward to that.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a fun month. The lead up is a fun month, to say the very least. And then, boom, you don't think, and we blink our eyes, and it'll be like December 12th.
I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah.
Matty, thank you as always for hopping in
Appreciate
with us. Vegas Matty, everyone, footballcontest.com, the best proxy service there is. Before we bring in Ryan McCormick, we have one bet from you that we didn't get to at the beginning of the show. And that's in Anaheim tonight. The Mets taking on the Angels. The Mets' new acquisition, Paul Blackburn, will go for them. Tyler Anderson, who has pitched fairly well this year for the Angels, will go for Los Angeles. Minus 133 now in New York, plus 123 on the Angels on the takeback.
I think this is a good price on the Mets here. Cheap number. I am backing a few of these pitchers that are making their first start for their new team, Blackburn being one of them. And the Angels, they found a way to lose their last 2 series against the Athletics and the Rockies. Mets are still playing good. I know that they have dropped 3 of their last 5, but still 7-3 in their last 10. So back in the Mets here, money line.
Alex, let's go through everything that you're on here today before we bring in our good friend Ryan McCormick, starting with St. Louis in Chicago today.
That is correct. Cardinals minus 110. Braves run line minus 1.5. We've got Royals and Tigers under 3.5 first 5. Royals plus 103. Lean to the Guardians. I have not bet that yet. Red Sox and Rangers over 8.5. And then the Mets minus 128.
A full card if you want
133
baseball on a Friday. A full card. Alex has had a really good week, everyone. So keep it rolling here on Friday. I hope so, for sure.
1-1 yesterday, but it was a run line, so that one did help out a little bit. But
the previous 2 days were real good, though.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
real good. 8-2 over the previous 2 days before yesterday for Alex. So a nice 9-3. You take that every week.
Yes.
Through the
keep it going
baseball.
today.
Yeah, keep it rolling for sure. We bring in our friend Ryan McCormick, producer of Punchlines, coming at noon. We'll see more of Alex. What else are we going to see here today on Punchlines?
Yeah,
Ryan?
well, we're bringing back a Filter Friday, so you're going to have to come to the show to see what we're actually doing. But we've got, as we have for this entire week, we've got a good Olympic chunk. Always post with punchlines with a bunch of good stuff from the sporting world. And doing That's Crazy today. Alex, Frank, and myself will have a That's Crazy. And then we will also be doing Monday's headlines, making a prediction to happen this weekend. That will be a headline on Monday. So you got to tune in at noon.
We skipped a couple of those, so that'll be fun to bring that back.
I'll actually be on it today. Well, that's on Frank more than anything with the Monday headlines. Remembering to actually do it, Alex. That's on Frank, not on you two. Punchlines FN, all social medias, including YouTube, where you watch the show today. Tomorrow, a full baseball card on a Saturday, and Finicaro and Magliulo.
Yes.
We hit our Italian quota 2 times on Saturday here on the show, 9 to 10. Alex, good work as always.
You too.
Shout out to Sean and Caden. Sean gutting it out yet again. Very painful week for our friend Sean, but he's here and working hard through injury this week. I'm Jeff Parles. We'll see you again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Sports by the Book, South Point Studio.